happens sometimes.
You know, it's my first time. No, I'm your main host, Sweet Tea, and this is the big dog.
That's me. I got a little mustache now. I know I have a normal beard, so it looks a little weird. I had people taking second looks at me the other day. It's weird.
This is Tough Broad's edition of the Mae Young Classic. We're going to do reviews, see where people have gone. We're going to talk about Mae Young and her legacy, and a little bit of controversy.
Yeah, we're only going to go over the first 4 matches of the quarterfinals because there's a lot of tournament to cover coming up, but we don't want to do all of it in one video. We want to kind of break it up so people can digest it as it goes. Johnny, go ahead and hit us with our graphic. All right. In 2017, an all-female professional wrestling tournament was introduced by WWE and was named the Mae Young Classic as a tribute to her memory. A lot of people don't actually, if they don't remember, it was actually supposed to be the Fabulous Moolah
Tournament
Open or something like that, but due to the controversy and a lot of people in the Me Too movement come out against the Fabulous Moolah, to where Snickers decided that they wanted to pull their branding from the WWE's International Women's Tournament, which would have ruined a whole bunch of careers at the time. They was like, no, let's do it for Mae. Mae Young is a more positive role model in professional wrestling than Moolah ever was anyway. Everyone remembers the fabulous...
she was a huge pioneer in women's wrestling that people don't know about.
Its purpose was to showcase the new female wrestlers that had signed within the company and were in development, as well as independent circuit veterans from all around the world. The winner would receive a contract with WWE and a trophy for their achievement. But little is actually known about Mae Young's character before the WWE. This, of course, is what most people remember, the image that comes through their head when you think of Mae Young.
Yes.
For the majority of...
When I first started watching wrestling, it was during the Attitude Era, and I remember asking my dad, who are these 2 old ladies? And he goes, just some 2 old female wrestlers from the heyday. And one of them was Miss Mae Young.
It had been widely speculated that she was the first female wrestler to use a drop kick. Which is known as I don't know, a painter has to have his brushes. A professional wrestler needs to know how to do a drop kick. It's one of the most used or sometimes overused professional wrestling move in the history of professional wrestling. And if she's remembered for being the first one to do it, that stands the test of time. She was also remembered in WWE for more of her comedic performances. Alongside of the Fabulous Moolah.
Of course.
They
were best friends.
We had, let's see, she would do strip dances, if we want to go ahead and go to the, strip dances in the ring. This is a Royal Rumble 1998 in a bikini contest where at the end of this, she actually exposed her quote-unquote puppies to the crowd, where Jerry the King Lawler was vomiting in his crown. Mark Henry was trying to cover her up. She had attached latex boobies that looked realistic. It was when the censors couldn't stop it. It was like every time they tried to censor it and they thought it was over, she'd jump back out. And it was hilarious to watch. But I think, and a lot of people agree with me, the most famous spot that she ever did was with the Dudley Boys. The power bomb from the stage through the table, which was all Mae Young's idea. She did this power bomb that you're seeing at the age of 77 years old, which I mean is insane. And then not that long after that, she and the Fabulous Moolah were destroyed by 3-minute warning, which started their big revolution everywhere. She was 79 at the time, taking a diving splash from Rosie, which would be known as the superhero in training. It was Roman Reigns' brother. which a lot of people don't know. And, of course, the other member of that being the late Umaga, Zilla Fatu's father. But being scoop slammed and diving splashed by Rosie and Jamal at the age of 79 is insane. But we're going to take you through a little bit and tell you about exactly who Mae Young actually is. Mae Young is a highly respected figure and one of the pioneers in the wrestling industry. She is overall a 3-time world champion. Her career has spanned 9 decades, a career span longer than any wrestler in the wrestling business to date. Yes. 9 decades. It's 90 years.
True pioneer.
Insane to think of that somebody had been along and around for that amount of time.
Could you imagine what she would be like now?
Yeah, well, she would fit in real good with the girls now, I think. She and Mildred Burke were the first women to wrestle in Canada, which was, Canada's a hotbed for wrestling anyway. But, look at her. She had star potential written all over her. This is when she went by Miss Mae Young, which she went through several different something Mae Young, but Miss is what I remember the most.
Yes.
And if you didn't know that, you would never know it because she didn't talk about really a lot of the olden days of wrestling when she did interviews and stuff. She was more trying to push the product like a good soldier, like you should.
She was also very private.
She had her last match and broke history when she was regarded as the oldest wrestler ever to have a match at the age of 87. That legacy still has not been touched today. That actually still stands today as the oldest living female wrestler to have a wrestling match, which is kind of cool. To be 100% honest, she's often recognized by wrestling historians, journalists, and colleagues as one of the toughest female wrestlers. No. See, that's a misfire in the copy here. She was the toughest of all women wrestlers ever to take the willingness to get hit like a man. I remember her telling Bubba Ray Dudley, I want you to hit me like a grown man, or I'm going to come back here and hit you like one.
Yes, that's how she was even when she first started out at a very young age. She wanted to be treated like one of the boys.
She famously told someone to eat a dick once in a national publicized press event for a wrestling event back then. She's kind of like Toni Storm nowadays. That's why she reminds me so much of her.
Oh, yeah.
Told a reporter to eat a dick back in the day, which I think is fantastic. I think that's who she's based her character off of.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Which actually her name shows up in second tournament, the second Mae Young Classic.
Yes.
Toni Storm, where she made her name famous by being in the Mae Young Classic, the second tournament. A lot of people's careers are made in this tournament. For her longevity, impact, and contributions to the wrestling industry, she was inducted into the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum in 2004, and then inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2008. So she is not only a pioneer for women's wrestling, but for future women. She's still used in video games today. She's still used in memorabilia and marketing today. Her impact on the world has been, and in wrestling fans, as being one of my favorite to ever do it.
Yes. And next we go into the overview of the tournament.
As you can see from this picture here, can you count on just a glance how many people in this tournament are actually still relevant today? I can count quite a few of them, and some of them even bigger stars than they could have ever imagined.
Yes.
Do we want to give a shout out to a few of them that are in here before we get into how the tournament works?
Sure, we've got Miss Piper Niven.
I see Bianca Belair and the recently, as of the recording of this, released Shayna Baszler. Looks like Kylie Ray, which we'll talk about here.
I see Kiri Sane.
Lacey Evans looks like Raquel Rodriguez. but I think she went under Raquel Gonzalez at that time.
I believe it was Reina Gonzalez.
Reina Gonzalez. Okay, her real name. She went under it as a real name.
I see Michin.
So it was Serena Deeb. Numerous. Actually, that's Toni Storm in the top left, next to Alba Fire. Is it not?
I'm not sure.
I'm going to check this, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, the future of women's wrestling. Yep, right here, Toni Storm.
That's for the 2018.
Oh, then I'm wrong. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Anyway, Toni Storm is in it, obviously. Surprise, surprise! If I ruined the second tournament for you, Dakota Kai up top. Numerous. Rachel Ellering, Tessa Blanchard was in this as well, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure maybe I'm talking about the second tournament for her.
That might be the second one.
Okay, well, we'll get into everyone who's in it as we go on through these episodes. But go ahead and let the people know what this tournament, the way it runs.
Well, it was held at Full Sail University, but the finale was held at the Thomas Mack Center. They had time limits between each rounds, or for each rounds rather, or match, whichever. Round 1 was 15 minutes, round 2, 20 minutes, quarterfinals, 25 minutes, semifinals, 30 minutes. And the finale, there was no time limit.
So, in other words, in the finale, the two women that got to the end just beat each other till one couldn't get up.
Pretty much.
Which is exactly how Mae Young would have ran her wrestling career anyway.
Absolutely.
She would have expected nothing less.
It also featured its first full-time referee, Jessica Carr.
Now, not just the Mae Young Classic, but the first female referee, period, in WWE wrestling, correct?
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. She's still there to this day.
Yes, she's also wrestling.
Calyx. Yes, super cool gimmick. Kind of reminds me of Kane a little bit.
Yes, and she's very good.
The tournament was consisted of how many matches? How many people were in it?
There were 32 competitors.
That's a big tournament. Hence why we're going to do more episodes than just one to be able to fit in all of the wrestling.
Yeah, one of the people that were actually supposed to be on the show, Tegan Knox, couldn't make it, and she had to have a substitute in for her because she got an injury, which actually happens in the next Mae Young Classic as well.
Very, very first time coming back to redeem herself and blew her knee again. Blew the other one. She blew one year and the other one the other year.
Yep.
Tegan Knox also, unfortunately, was recently released late last year. Which just goes to show you the longevity of people in this tournament. Rhea Ripley is in this tournament, for crying out loud. Yes. She's one of the biggest stars in the history of professional wrestling right now.
Very young Rhea Ripley.
Very young Rhea Ripley. And very blonde Rhea Ripley down there in the front with the long hair. You wouldn't be no tattoos.
Nothing.
Pretty girl Rhea, as I like to call her. Go ahead and hit us with the next one, John. The legendary Jim Ross
and Miss Lita
were the commentators for the preceding rounds. I believe they called every bit of the tournament, did they not?
Yes.
Which we're going to get into some of the first episode of the competition. Wow.
Which was Kaylee Ray, who's also known as Alba Fire, and Princesa Shui.
Now, this match was made to really set the tone for the tournament with the clash of styles between the traditional luchador and then you have Kylie Ray, otherwise known as Alba Fire, and her more hardcore, hard-hitting, high-flying.
Yes.
She was very, very classic luchadora versus very bloody, hardcore,
almost like Lita.
Grab a chair and hit you with it kind
like
of thing.
Lita.
Or a female Terry Funk. Which I would shudder to think what that would actually look like.
Princesa
Shui won by submission due to a Fujiwara armbar, which looked impressive. The entire match ran really smooth. The clash of styles really elevated the style between both wrestlers to really get in their stuff, for them to be able to show, well, this is my side, what I offer. And then the other one, okay, well, this is what I offer. It left the scouts in the back very easy to read.
That's what's
the tournament.
So great about the tournament, because they brought in independent people from all over the world, not just from the U.S.
There was no egos. They all worked together for one common goal, whether they knew they were going to be there the whole time or they knew they were going out there and losing in the first round. They still made it look as important as it should have looked.
They wanted to showcase their abilities and who they were. That's what this was all about.
Which we will talk about Kylie Ray and every one of the other participants as they are eliminated towards the end of the show each episode.
Yes.
To let you know where they are now. So, as of right now, Kaylee Ray falls to Princesa in the first match, opening match of the 2017 Mae Young Classic. Go ahead and hit us with, this is the second match of round one. Serena Deeb, long-time traveled journeywoman, which you don't have many of those anymore in professional wrestling, who could pick up and wrestle anywhere and be a star anywhere. Also, former member of CM Punk's Straight Edge Society, and had her head shaved on national television.
Yes, she came back for redemption.
Against Vanessa Borne, who was a very young, very vibrant upstart. Yes. In professional wrestling. I thought that she would go further into a career. I thought that this was going to be her jump-off point. You know, that finally she was going to get a chance to showcase who she is, what her character is, and all that. Unfortunately, Deeb's experience shone through and won via pinfall. This, of course, again, not a bad match. Exactly what you would want for the second opening match. Familiarity versus the new blood.
Yes,
Serena
the
Deeb.
Veteran versus...
Yeah. Serena Deeb could go in there with a rake and make it look good.
And she looked phenomenal.
She still does. She still travels the roads today as a journeywoman. WWE would be...
Well, right now she's still working for AEW.
Yeah, until the end of the year. I hear that she's wanting to come in and work with AAA. Which would be super, super, super cool. Anyway, Serena Deeb moves on in the contest. Let's go ahead and hit us with the third match of round one, which was a very young, up-and-coming Shayna Baszler, fresh out of UFC and Stardom fame. Shimmer fame, I apologize, not Stardom. Against the relative unknown Zeda. I would like to say that I know a lot more of Zeda, her style, the way she works in a ring, but she didn't really get to show a whole lot of that because Shayna Baszler destroyed her. I believe that I have the times right here. Let me see. It was a very short match. Here we are. I know you're there. Here we are. 2 minutes, 42 seconds. She tapped her out via, what was it, armbar? Just says submit. Oh, the choke out, the Kata Hajime.
Oh, yeah.
Put her to sleep. Quick. Put her to sleep quick. Didn't really have a whole lot of showing from her because, I mean, Shayna Baszler was a beast and WWE is dumb.
She came in as a beast and, yeah.
Out of everyone on this entire show, Shayna Baszler really encaptures the fiery work ethic of Mae Young. And the take no shit aspect of Mae Young, where Shayna Baszler coming in, they marketed her the right way. Like, people were scared. Like, this is an MMA fighter. We just watched bloody somebody up bad coming in here and putting her hands on little Dakota Kai. You know what I mean? And roughing these girls up. She went from one starter of an elimination chamber and eliminated every single woman in the elimination chamber in order as they come out of the cells.
Wow.
And then lost to Becky Lynch at WrestleMania and didn't win the title. Which is the big fumble. Big fumble. But back then, she didn't know WWE was going to fumble her career as bad as they have. Them releasing her was stupid. Anyway, Shayna Baszler steps ahead over Zeda. I really wish I had more experience with Zeda because, I mean, she had a good look. She's very athletic.
Short career.
But did she did, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit as well. And then we're going to go into the fourth and final match of this first episode that we're going to cover.
Which is the match of the show.
Yeah.
Oh. Fantastic.
Abbey, Lath,
But disappointing.
and Jazzy Gabert. I'm so terrible with
I don't know. I'm
accent
saying
names.
Gabert like it's French, but she's German.
Just gonna call her Jazzy.
Yeah, let's call her Jazzy.
She had it. She had everything. She had the look. She had everything you would want. She had the Rocky story. She looked a lot like Bridget Nielsen from Rocky 4. The one that married Flavor Flav with the big clock around his neck.
She did have a very rocky past. She was adopted, and whenever they found out she wanted to wrestle, they said no, so she left.
Hey, bet on yourself.
And
if no one else will, bet on yourself.
She's a powerhouse.
Jazzy Gabert and her actually had the best match of the entire, in my opinion, one of the best matches of the entire first round of all of it. But 7 minutes and 33 seconds of back and forth, with Abbey Lath overcoming the powerhouse by pinfall victory, which I just don't understand what they were thinking.
Jazzy basically had her the entire time, and Abbey just
outshined her the whole time.
Came back with this quick thing, and it was over. And Jazzy was my one to win it all.
Yeah, I mean, see, when I saw the tournament, they did a 30-minute, an hour introduction to the girls before that took place on the network at the time, that went through, like, stories of every one of the girls when they were introduced. As soon as I seen her, she didn't even talk much in that episode either. She did the whole German gimmick or whatever it was where she didn't speak much. And I was sold. I was like, ooh, she looks like China. I like China. You know what I mean? I like the bigger build. I like the muscular.
I like powerhouse women.
She reminds me a lot of like the young up and start from LFG, Bailey Humphrey. She has that killer instinct look. She has the perfect package.
Yes.
And and they just fumbled it. She should have been further in this tournament, in my opinion. Personal feelings on any kind of wrestler aside, I think that was the wrong call. However, Abbey Lath moves on to the round 2. We're not going to call it the quarterfinals because there's still quite a bit of tournament left.
Oh, yes.
We're going to get into the Where Are They Now segment of this. For this episode, the first person to be eliminated from the tournament, Kaylee Ray.
Who then changed her name to Alba Fire when she came to the WWE from NXT UK. And she was paired with Miss Isla Dawn here, who was released earlier this year.
Which is...
Also...
I hate to quit talking about how WWE fumbles things, but...
They were a great tag team. They had won the titles, I believe, in NXT.
Also, in the UK, they had a long run against each other as enemies.
And then that's when they joined forces and became this.
They were the last to hold the the NXT women's tag titles.
Yep.
Before unifications and all of that stuff took place with Ronda Rousey and whomever her partner was at the time. They were tag team titles. They're the ones that won the unification match. Yeah. Now Alba Fire, after Isla Dawn being sent packing, still don't understand that. Alba Fire is now a member of the Secret Hervis.
Is that what they call themselves?
Yep, that's what they call themselves, the Secret Hervis. Hervis, as in service.
Oh.
But Hervis. Which is going to be a very long-term goal for Miss Alba Fire, because I'm telling you right now, Chelsea Green, as of today, the recording of this episode, just signed another multi-year deal with the WWE to stay for the next foreseeable future. Chelsea Green's not going anywhere.
And to explain that with the Herverse, Alba Fire and Piper Niven are basically...
Secret Service members.
Her bodyguards.
Yeah. Which, ever since she's lost the United States title, it's even funnier. She wears black makeup, covers her face like she's lost a loved one, and the girls, Alba Fire especially, is like extra fucking secure with like Nick Aldis, like keeping him at bay and shit. It's hilarious. She has a future, and she's a seasoned vet.
She is.
Alba Fire is,
hardcore
oh man, I don't like that they
vet.
had to change her name, but I get why they did. But Kaylee Ray was one of the longest reigning WWE UK Women's Champions in the history of women's UK championships, and she was a bad lady.
And next we have Vanessa Borne.
Vanessa Borne was put out by Serena or Deeb. I believe it's pronounced Deeb. I say Deb a lot just because that's how it's written. It looks to me, but
Deeb.
Vanessa
Tomato,
Borne.
tomato.
You said she had a shorter career.
She was with WWE until 2021.
Okay.
She wrestles occasionally, but she mostly models and is actually, as you can see, she's beautiful. She's actually in a movie that came out this year of 2025 called Game of Power.
Ooh,
So
I
that's
actually seen the trailer for that the other night.
That's what she's been doing.
Okay. Well, she's got that starlit look. She's got the jawline like of old school cinema, if you ask me.
She's very gorgeous. She pretty much wrestles for a few independent
Make a little extra money.
But she mainly just models and does acting now.
Well, anywhere she wrestles, she can put on there, as seen on the Mae Young Classic and as seen on NXT, is probably how she sells a lot of her tickets.
Yes.
Because she's earned it. The tournament was that big. And we're just getting started with all of that. The third to be eliminated was Zeda?
Yes, Zeda Zhang.
Zeda Zhang. I like that. It rolls right out. That's a very catchy name.
She was released a year after this tournament. She did about a year in the Oriental Wrestling Entertainment.
I'm going to guess that's what this championship on the screen is.
I'm not sure because she also did 3 years in MLW and 1 year she did AEW dark matches.
Okay, so yeah, it had to be the Japanese wrestling promotion.
I know she was working with another promotion recently.
Okay.
That she's also promoting.
Is she still wrestling currently, or? That's a beautiful picture. So she's still wrestling currently, or no?
I believe she does wrestle on the independent circuit, but I believe she also models.
As seen here, which I mean, she's a very beautiful woman. For models that I see from Japan, they all look usually more along the same basic structure. She's got a look all of her own. I like that. And of course, the fourth to be eliminated, unfortunately,
Our
is Miss
favorite
Jazzy. First off, look at her. Money.
She's got
You know who I
belt.
see when I look at her?
China.
Well, yeah, but
Rhea
I mean,
Ripley.
recently? No, Zarya.
That's the next one I was going to say.
She looks like Zarya.
Exactly.
She was that many years too soon, I think, was her problem. Also with the stuff to follow afterwards with her release and all of that. Jazzy, amazing talent. That belt is awesome. Now, this isn't recent, correct?
No, this is not recent. This is when she did Stardom.
And again, look at the look. She's still feminine, but she's got that I'll tear your fucking head off look. You know what I mean? Like, she can go. You know she's tough. You know that she's somebody they could have built NXT on. Yeah. Team her with Shayna Baszler. Would have been fantastic.
She did some work here and there, as you can tell, with Stardom. But what she's been doing now is...
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. She's beautiful.
I actually just heard that she did an interview on The Bonfire with Jay Okerson and Robert Kelly about 3 months ago. I've just actually found it. I'm going to listen to it on XM. Sirius XM.
Yeah.
That she's still relevant even now.
Yes, she has her own wrestling promotion called Sirius Wrestling, and she also has her own restaurant called Sirius Stella Spoon.
Still think she should have went with Jazzy's place. I really do. I think Jazzy's place is more, I don't know, serious of a name. Jazzy's place. But you got to give it the spirit fingers after.
But she also just came out about 3 days ago.
Oh.
With a magazine about basically a memoir or biopic of her life.
Okay.
And I'm super excited to read that. So maybe later on we can do a deep dive on her.
And maybe we could come back with an even more illustrated deep dive episodes on where did they go from there and really
absolutely
pick some of the favorites. And maybe we'll even allow the Tough Broads universe out there to dictate where we go with it. Would be cool. Who they actually want us to deep dive on. But I'm telling you, this one here, even like you said, as soon as 3 days ago from the time we're recording this video, she's still in the news. She's still vibrant. Which again shows you the touch that the Mae Young Classic had on these women's professional wrestling careers going forward.
And if you think she looks familiar and aren't getting the name Jazzy Gabert, she's also known as the alpha female.
Yes, that's her tagline now. They didn't use that, though, in the Mae Young Classic, did they?
No. But anywhere that she goes, there's always either the name Jazzy Gabert or the alpha female. Those are the two big names that she's known for. Like in Europe, I believe it's alpha female. Here in America, it's Jazzy.
It's more of a tagline than an actual name.
Yeah.
Kind of like the alpha male Monty Brown. He used to use the alpha male.
I would say, yeah, she's the Jazzy, the alpha female, Gabert.
Yeah. That's
something
awesome.
Something like that.
Probably the biggest travesty of this entire tournament, in my opinion. She really, out of everyone, I think she really deserved to go further.
She should have deserved to be up against Shayna.
I would have. That would have been a money match. Or even some of the other up and coming stars like Dakota Kai would have been fun.
Don't think Dakota's on till next one. Bianca
nope,
Belair.
Right here, episode 3. Bianca Belair, Tessa Blanchard, Sarah Logan, which became Valhalla, or as I like affectionately call her,
butt fingers.
I put my fingers in my butt and then I sniff them. Mae Young would have been fun. Reina Gonzalez. Could you imagine Jazzy and Reina?
Rodriguez and her
at that time? That could have sold arenas.
But she was
Piper Niven would have been another one that would have been cool to see her wrestle. Just to see the heavier of the two wrestle the muscular one, see which one that could jock for the position. Would have been really cool. But this is just the first 4 matches.
We've got a bunch more, the rest of round 1 and round 2.
Be sure to join us, PWT Tough Broads, as we continue to shape this tournament, I guess would be the right way to put it.
Yeah.
Go through, we have, how many more rounds? We have,
the rest of round 1.
And then round 2 is dramatically shorter.
Yep.
Quarterfinal semis, we will do the semis and the finals together, correct?
Yes, this series will be a 3-part series.
Next episode will include some names like Rhea Ripley, Sarah Logan, unrecognizable Rhea Ripley, I might add.
Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah, Toni Storm, very young Toni Storm. Piper Niven, Santana Garrett, Bianca Belair.
Rachel
Evers and Marty Bell, which is, if anyone knows me, knows that I am a super, super duper fan of Marty Bell. Also, the professionals, Mercedes Martinez, which is one of her favorite women wrestlers of all time, will be actually in the very next match we cover, chronologically, against Xia Li, who she was just released late last year with Alba Fire, wasn't she? I mean, that just goes to show you 2025 as we sit here. Uh, there's still people who are still paid on the roster today that are making insane waves, all because they were handpicked to be part of the Mae Young Classic, because they all inspired some form of the spark that Mae had in professional wrestling and the outreach that she still has today. Like I said, I played Supercard on my phone, which is one of the top wrestling games on Google Play and stuff, and it has a Mae Young card that just come out, like 2025. So the 9 decades that she was alive in this business, and then what? She's almost a decade since she's been gone.
Yeah.
It's it's crazy to know that the crazy old lady that used to be on TV in the Attitude Era, showing her kibbles and bits to everybody, getting power bombed by Bubba Ray Dudley and telling people to eat dicks.
Inspired a tournament.
Inspired a revolution in women's wrestling. This was, of course, the first tournament that really made women's wrestling stand up and be counted
in America,
in WWE. It's where they flipped the switch and was like, okay, if our competition, whatever they considered competition at the time, TNA, can do the knockouts division and accentuate their female roster, we can too, because we have most of the time better talent at the time. A lot of the girls that are on TNA now, actually, again, some of them you'll see in this tournament, some of them you'll see in the next tournament. Yeah. Basically, the who's who of women's professional wrestling come out of these 2 tournaments.
They really did.
And a lot of them wasn't even signed at the time. They were independent contractors being paid to be there X amount of days.
And some of them were signed before the tournament.
Of course, they recycled this tournament as the Cruiserweight Classic to crown WWE's Cruiserweight champion that was retired a couple years ago now on NXT. The same style of tournament, independent guys, freelance workers, stuff like that, but it all stemmed from the Mae Young Classic. Pretty cool to think about. We got a whole lot more episode to go. Well,
yep.
Lineage of episodes to go.
So how about you keep brawling with us later?
Yeah, you keep brawling with us, and we'll keep brawling with you.
Keep brawling.
Keep it brawling.